Hey everyone, this is John from Forever Fit, and we're going to be doing some flexibility and mobility exercises today with a little bit of yoga involved. A couple things you'll need before we get started is you're going to need a water bottle or a glass of water, whatever you can use that you can put water in to hydrate, and in case you need a drink to take a little break. You'll also need a chair, okay, so you can stand next to it or behind it for a little bit of help with your balance and your stability. And we're also going to use that for our seated exercises today. You'll also need to be somewhere close by a wall, okay, because we're going to have some wall exercises. That wall is going to be used to help us get some mobility and stretch out a little bit and get some flexibility in those shoulders and that back. Okay, so we're just going to start off. I'm actually going to sit down to get us started. Okay, and we want to do a little bit of mindful breathing. Some people call it meditation, others just think of it as breathing. It's just basically to get your mind and body in connection with what you're thinking about doing, what your intent is for today's workout. What you might notice is I have bare feet. If you feel like you want to wear some kind of sneakers, some kind of comfortable shoe that you're able to move around in and that give you good strong support, that's fine. I prefer bare feet because it helps me connect better with the earth and the ground below my feet, and it also helps my feet get a better grip, okay, and feel that ground or the floor below me so that I can push into the floor and get those muscles throughout my feet to work. But it's up to you completely on what you want to do with that. Okay, so we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to try to get our shoulders back and down. We're going to extend our spine, reach the crown of our head up towards the ceiling. We're going to gently push those feet into the floor, having the legs about shoulder width apart, the knees shoulder width apart, and the feet shoulder width apart. Sit up as tall as you can. You can close your eyes if you'd like. You can keep them open. It's completely up to you. We're just going to gently, easily breathe. Breathing in the nose and out the nose. In and out. Letting the air passively come in through the nose, down into the back of the throat, into the chest, into the lungs, even down into your abdomen, into the lower abdomen where your diaphragm is. Just breathing in and out. And as you breathe, you want to try to imagine that energy rising up from the ground or floor into your feet as you gently push your feet into the floor, up into your soles of your feet, into your toes, into the balls of your feet, into the arches of your feet, into your heels, up into your ankles. Feel it circulate around your ankles. So if you have an ankle mobility issue, you may want to imagine that energy working its way around those ankles and up into your calves and the back of your legs. Feel those legs gently push into the floor, up into the knees, and the same thing as the ankles. If you feel any issues, any soreness or any pain in the ankles, discomfort, you may want to imagine that energy working, that warmth, helping your ankles and your knees to get a little bit more mobile, a little bit more strong today. Feel that energy rise up into the thighs, up into the quadriceps in the front of your thighs, the hamstrings in the back. Feel it rise up into your hips. So our hips, our pelvis is where our energy lies and where it originates. It's where your core strength comes from. And it helps you balance, and it helps you sit up straight, helps you stand up straight. So we want to imagine that energy there and just circulating through that area. So you can place your hands on your belly and your chest in front of your heart. And as we breathe and as we feel that energy rise up from our hips, from our pelvis, from that pelvic floor, we want to feel it come up into our abdomen. And we want to feel that belly gently tighten up. And as you breathe, you want to feel that chest and your lungs rise. So the reason why we have our hands in contact is our hands have sensory feelings within them, within the palms and the fingers, and that's why we sense where things are. We touch We have that sense of touching throughout our hands. And so that feeling of making contact with your hands and your fingers to your chest and your abdominal area as you feel that chest rise and fall gives you a little bit more sense of touch and feeling as those areas work. You want to feel that energy rise and go throughout your body, into your arms, into your hands. You can even bring your hands together and imagine like a little ball of energy in between the palms. By now you may feel a warm sensation. Maybe it works throughout its hands. You can even bring your hands together and give them a gentle rub and create some friction in those hands. So feel that energy circulating throughout your palms, throughout your fingers. Continue to breathe. Feel it rising throughout those arms, into the shoulders, into the neck, into the back of the head, throughout the eyes, the temples, the jaw. You can move your jaw around a little bit. Loosen up that jaw. Sometimes we grit our teeth. We carry a lot of tension in our jaw, so just relax. Try to get that tension to go away. Alright, so we're going to take those hands now. We're going to rub them amongst our arms. You can open your eyes if you like. You're just going to give your arms a gentle, easy massage. Loosen up those arms a little bit. Loosen up the forearms, both sides. Maybe rotate the wrists. Rotate the shoulders. Maybe rub the legs, warm up those thighs. So this is the type of what we call a body rub, and basically what it is you're massaging the muscles and the tendons and ligaments throughout your body, and you're getting them ready for your workout. Sometimes if it's early in the morning, this is a great way to loosen up those muscles. If it's later on at night, just before you go to bed, same thing. And if it's a nice cooler day out, cold day in the winter, sometimes it works well. Or even if muscles have been going through tiredness throughout the summer, same thing. Just generally good all year round there, all day. Loosen up those muscles and get them relaxed. And get ready for your workout. So we're going to start off with a shoulder mobility exercise called cat and cow. So basically you're going to roll your shoulders back and down, chest is out, back's tall, belly's in. We're going to roll those shoulders forward. We're going to tuck our upper back. We're going to breathe in and kind of like you're rounding your back. This is your cat movement, like when a cat is angry. Okay. We tuck our chin, let our head hang, and then we're going to do our cow, but really we're just going to sit up straight. And if you'd like to look up, you can look up and get that chest out, that back tall. And if you want to, this is up to you and your mobility, you can arch your back and give it a gentle pull with those hands into those knees and thighs as we look up. Going to bring the shoulders up to the ears, around that back, let the head hang. And this time try to hang a little bit more. So yes, we want to sit up as tall as we can, which is great, but sometimes our back also wants to relax. And so we can kind of hunch in a way, but we also want to have that mobility to sit up straight and even look up and even arch and extend. So our back has the ability to do all these different positions. It's just it should not stay in any one position for a long period of time, or we will feel that pain and discomfort. And as we've seen, we will end up maybe staying this way, especially in today's world, because a lot of times we're on a computer, we're driving, we're sitting in front of a television, we're texting, okay? I know that's for the younger people, but we do it too, as we age too. We get locked into today's technology and we do these things. So try to straighten up as much as you can, but in the same token, understand that you can relax your back. You don't have to be straight all the time. It works in both ways. So you can't have too much of a good thing in that case. So we're going to start off, we're just going to get those shoulders, we're going to alternate now, one side to the other, and work with your abilities and limitations. So if you feel like one side's a little tighter than the other, that's okay. If you feel like you don't have as much mobility as you see here, that's fine to work with your abilities and limitations. We're going to go back the opposite way, one side to the other, just alternating from side to side. Okay, so we're just gonna practice getting our hands up and above our head and then back down. We'll use that a little bit later, a little bit more once we stand too. So we're gonna put our hands at our shoulders, we're gonna sit up as tall as we can, we're gonna tuck our elbows, we're just gonna breeze them up to the ceiling. I just want you to imagine like your fingers are wiggling, and you bring them down, and you bring them up. And you can look up. And so a friend of mine taught me that we want to try to imagine like you're reaching towards something. So I like to try to imagine like I'm taking one side, I'm reaching up towards an apple, grabbing that apple, twisting and pulling it down. We're reaching up, you can look up at that hand, the hand guides the eyes. Grab that apple, twist and pull down. Reach up, grab the apple, twist and pull down. Great, let's do the other side now. Reach up, look up at that hand, get that neck mobility going, twist, pull down. Reach up, breathe nice and deep, feel action, fill those lungs as you open up that airway. Twist and pull down, reach up, twist and pull down. As you notice, I'm also using my fingers and my hands, so I'm getting that finger and hand mobility, and we're loosening up those fingers, helping out that arthritis, helping out those issues with our fingers and hands. So we're going to work on standing up. We sit up as tall as we can. First thing is we just lean in. Get our chest, get our shoulders over our knees so we can push off that chair, but we're not going to quite get up yet. We're just going to push back through our feet and legs. If you don't feel comfortable getting up, you don't have to. We're just going to get used to that slight rocking motion. So I'm rocking, I'm not rocking through my back. I'm rocking through my hips, called hinging up hips. Okay, my back is nice and tall and straight. I'm looking straight forward. I'm not looking at the floor. So our head weighs between about 8 to 10 pounds. Okay, we have pretty big brains sometimes. So what that's going to do is it's going to pull you over. You want to try to keep your face and head looking forward so that weight doesn't take you and so we don't fall. And we only go as far as our knees. So basically my shoulders line up with my knees. So we're going to get up out of that chair. If you don't feel like getting up, you don't have to. One little substitute you can use for that, if you want to get that leg extension and that quadricep strength on the front of your legs, is you can lean in and extend out. Lean in, push off that floor, extend out, lean in, and push out. So we're going to get up off the chair. If you want to continue to do that, you can. If you want to get up with us, we'd like you to get up with us. So we're going to lean in, drive, push those feet and legs, come up, push those hips forward, squeeze that butt, tighten that belly, relax the shoulders, stand up tall, reach the crown of that head up towards the ceiling. We're going to do that 3 more times. Okay, so hinge at the hips, sit down, gently, safely. If you need your chair, use your chair. Lean in, drive up through the feet and legs, squeeze that butt, tighten that belly, extend those hips way up, reach that crown of the head up. Breathe out as you come up, in as you go back down. Lean in, drive up. Last time, let's stay up if we can. Great, excellent. Okay, so we're going to make our way to the side of the chair. We're going to do some mobility exercises with the wall. Okay, so I'm going to use the wall. Move the chair aside so it's out of my way. And I'm just going to look at the wall. And I'm going to place my hands palms on the wall, just gently. Okay? We're going to walk inch by inch up the wall. Our hands are about shoulder width apart. And what we're doing is we're extending our shoulders, chest, and back. Now, even though my hands are up, I want my shoulders to be tucked down out of my ears. So you should see that space and feel that gap between your neck and your shoulder. Breathe gently, easily push in, not too much. We don't want to feel any pain or discomfort in that back. We don't want to arch that back. We just want to feel those shoulders and that neck and that back stretch. We're going to walk down, about shoulder height, maybe even bring our fingers off the wall a little bit, and start to walk back up. Breathe as you extend those hands. You can even look up at your hands gently, easily, lean in, and then come on back down. Walk on up. And come on back down. Once we get down to the bottom, where your hands are in line with your shoulders again, just going to look from one side. Look to the other side, standing up tall, keeping the shoulders down out of your ears. Look side to side, and side to side. Excellent. Okay, we're going to drop one arm, we're going to relax, stand up as tall as we can, and we're going to keep one palm on the wall. Okay, line up your hand with your shoulder, elbows slightly bent. We're going to start to slowly turn away from that wall and that hand. Okay, so we only want to go as far as we feel comfortable. I'm just facing forward now. I feel a little bit of stretch in that bicep, the muscle that connects from my elbow into my shoulder, okay, on my upper arm. And I feel a little bit of a stretch in my shoulder, and I feel a little bit of a stretch in my chest, my pectoral muscles. So you can stop here if you'd like. You can rotate a little bit more out with your hip if you'd like, and feel that chest rotate out. And if you'd like, you can reach, but all the time I want to keep my shoulders down. So I'm creating a big T extension. I can even look at this hand towards that thumb, and if I want, I can rotate the palm up towards the ceiling, again, keeping the elbows slightly bent. That's going to keep from hurting my elbows or my shoulders. Breathe nice and deep, and if you don't feel comfortable reaching that arm out, you can always just let it hang. That's fine too. Looking over that opposite shoulder, we're going to face the wall again. Chest faces the wall, palms on the wall. Whatever you do one side, you want to do the other. So shoulders relax back and down. We're going to reach back over that other side. Again, you can let it hang if you'd like, or reach it out. You can rotate that palm up. This is your mobility session. This is your flexibility session, your workout. So you decide what you want to do and how long you want to do it for. So if it's for 10 seconds, it's 10 seconds. If it's 30 seconds, it's 30 seconds. We always say probably about 15 to 30 seconds is good. But if you want to go a little less, you can. If you want to go a little more, you can. But take your time. Go slow. This is your pace. Again, your workout. So we're going to do both sides again. We're going to start to, again, rotate, face forward. Feel that stretch on the bicep and the shoulder and the chest. Reach out if you'd like to reach out. Palms up if you'd like to get palms up. Relax the shoulders. And if you want to drop your arm, you can drop your arm. That's up to you. Look towards that shoulder, maybe even towards the back. Face out again. Palms on the wall and the other side. Reach out. Feel that stretch. Feel a little bit of tension between those shoulder blades if you want. Maybe rotate, get the shoulders back and down. Maybe just drop that arm. It's up to you again. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to let those hands rest. Relax the shoulders. We're going to work on some balance now, okay? And we'll come back to the wall in a little bit. So we're going to bring the chair a little closer to us. If you'd like to stand behind the chair, you can. I'm going to stand next to it so you can see my entire body. So our feet are pointed forward, about shoulder hip width apart. We're going to work on a little bit of balance poses, okay? So we're going to do what we call tree pose, okay? And you can do whichever version you're comfortable with. I'm going to walk you through all of them, okay? So tree pose is a classic yoga pose. We're going to alter a little bit for our situation, for our needs, okay? So hands on the chair, okay? And we're going to use the inside leg to bring it up. So we want to get our balance from that outside leg, okay? Back's nice and tall. We're going to gently just start to push into the floor, what we call rooting. So imagine like your feet and your legs are like the trunk and the roots to that tree, digging into the floor, digging into the ground to keep you anchored and keep you strong, okay? We're going to start to bring the feet up, or one foot up, excuse me. So that inner foot comes up, and I just rest my heel on the inner half of my ankle. But I'm not pushing it, I'm not putting any pressure on it. I'm just kind of like standing on that one foot and my toes and the balls of my feet. Okay, I'm going to push through those hips, try to get up as tall as I can. If I feel safe here, and if I feel like this is as far as I need to go, and I can go, that's perfectly fine. That's it, that's all you need to do. Okay? Maybe you get that foot up by your calf, the muscle that's just below your knee in the back of your leg. So we don't want to put pressure on the knee, but you can hover around the knee. So notice my knee, my other knee on the elevated leg is extended to the side. Okay? Or if you want to raise up to the thigh, you can. Again, no pressure on the leg. Okay? It's just up there. Okay? So we're going to stand up as tall as we can. If you feel like you can, bring one hand up, bring one hand up. Reach up towards the ceiling. And again, if you need to go down slowly, calf, the floor, it's up to you. If you don't feel comfortable with your hand up here, it doesn't have to stay there. Then you have to go up there in the first place. Bring it on down. Let's do the other side. So we can move to the other side of our chair. Okay. Stand up as tall as we can. Again, pushing into the floor, rooting into the ground. Back's tall, chest out. Extend the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Feel those feet push into the floor and grab on. We're going to bring that left knee up. Maybe it's just the ankle. This is enough. I can raise my hand up from here if I'd like. If you feel like you want to bring that foot up a little higher, you get a little bit more balance. A little more balance up to the calf. Again, if you want to raise the hand up, it's up to you. Maybe I get up to the knee. Again, don't put any pressure on the knee. We don't want to hurt it. Or on the thigh. And however long you stay in this balance pose is up to you. Maybe it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, maybe it's 30. It's your call. Relax the shoulders, breathe. Breathing is your balance. Breathing is your breath. Breathing is where we get that strength and energy. Let's bring it down nice and slowly and controlled. Excellent. Okay, we're going to use the wall again, but we're going to use the wall behind me this time. Move the chair out of my way, and we're going to work on some just extending straight as I can. Okay, so feet pressing into the floor just like before. I'm going to stick my butt up against the wall. My shoulders are up against the wall as much as I can. I feel my shoulder blades and I reach the crown of my head. So I know some of us have rounded shoulders, which is fine, but this is where we try to work that out and get a little bit taller. Okay? We want to try to get the back of our head as close to the wall as we can. If you can't touch, that's okay. Mine's not touching either. Okay? So if you get your heels close to the wall, that's great. Okay? But if you need to, you can also inch your feet out a little more, and then you can get a little bit more of your back against the wall. Sometimes we need some space between our heels and the wall. Okay? And we're just going to start to raise our arms up into a T position. Our forearms are against the wall. So if I can get my hands to the wall, great. If not, that's okay. We're going to keep our elbows on the wall and rotate forward. My shoulders are tucked down. I'm reaching forward with my hands. I can even wiggle those hands and fingers. And if I can get the palms as close to the wall as I can, that's great. If not, come as close as you feel comfortable with. Rotate up. Try to get a little closer. And rotate down. Rotate up. Rotate down. We're going to change it up this time. We come up, and I'm going to reach high as I can, and then come down. I'm going to look to one side. I'm going to look to the other side. I'm going to reach up as high as I can. And if you feel like you can't get that high, again, bring those feet out a little more. It'll give you a little bit more mobility. Bring it down. Reach up high. And if you feel like you were comfortable back there, you can move back there again. It's up to you. And then down. Reach up. And then back down. Very good. Okay, let's bring those hands down. So from there, I'm going to come back to the front. Okay? And we're going to work on a few more things with the chair this time. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. When we get behind my chair, we're going to practice that hip hinge we were doing earlier. We're also going to stretch out our back. So we're going to work on a downward dog. And if you do normal yoga, you may be on the floor with this, but we're going to do an altered version, okay, for our class and for our purposes. So hands are extended towards that chair, shoulders are back and down, elbows are slightly bent. I'm going to push my hips back toward the wall, bring my shoulders forward. And if you need to move that chair a little bit, you can. We're going to look towards that chair. And we're going to push those hips back towards the wall. So I should have my knees slightly bent, and I should feel a gentle, easy stretch in the back of my legs, my hamstrings, and throughout my hips and lower back. I'm going to look toward the wall. I'm going to breathe. From this position, we can bring our feet back if we need to. We can even do what we call walking the dog. So I'm going to push that chair out a little bit more because I'm tall. And I'm going to just alternate my feet and ankles and legs. This is what we call walking the dog. And you're in downward dog position. If you feel like this is pretty easy, you can inch your way back up. And if you want to try a little bit lower, you can. We're going to use the base of the chair this time, the platform, the seat. So I'm going to put my hands on that seat. I'm going to get back. Make sure the chair is steady. And now you can get down a little bit lower. And we're going to go from one side to the other, get into those calves, get into those ankles, get into those feet, hips, shoulders, etc. Alright, we're going to slowly make our way back up to the base, make sure we're stable. One hand comes up, the other hand comes up. And let's sit back down into our chair. Okay, so we're going to make our way to the chair. Feet nice and wide, knees nice and wide, feet pointed forward. Again, use your hands if you need to, stand up as tall as you can, hinge at the hips, lower yourself to the chair, and plant yourself in the chair. So when I'm in the chair, I want to feel a little bit of space between the back of the chair and my back. So I'm about the middle of the chair, okay, or even the front of the chair. We're just going to sit up as tall as we can, and from there, we're going to reach our hands down to the sides. We'll wiggle our fingers, we're going to lean down to one side. I want to feel a nice, easy stretch. Keep my butt up against the base of the chair, up against that seat. We want to feel a stretch from our hip into our obliques and the sides of our stomach and into our ribs. I'm going to reach up. I want to feel a gentle, easy stretch in those ribs and then those lats right here and throughout the tricep and the arm. If you can't get your hand all the way up there, it can be towards the front. That's fine. Bring it down, and that's the other side now. Again, so reach down towards the floor, reach up towards the ceiling. Maybe I'll look up at this hand. Feel that stretch throughout your hip, your obliques, your back, your lats, your tricep. Maybe up into your fingers. Again, if you need them forward, forward is fine. Bring it down, and then reach up. Reach down, so we're reaching in opposite directions. Bring it down, reach up, maybe you look up, it's up to you. So the next motion is very similar to that. We're going to do what we call a windmill. I'm going to bring my chair back so you can see. Okay, and we're going to get to the front of our chair. I'm going to bring one hand up, one hand reaches down between my legs. The object of the hand between my legs is to reach as close to the floor as I can. And the object of the hand up above is to be able to reach up towards the ceiling and kind of rotate my trunk. So if you can't rotate that well, that's fine. Maybe you just go forward. If you can rotate though, rotate that trunk so one shoulder is back and up, and the other shoulder is downward. Okay, so we're going to go way up. Look up at that hand if you can. Create some space in that trunk, your shoulders, your chest, your back. Breathe. Come on down. Let's do the other side, okay? So again, if you can't rotate that much, this is fine. Maybe you rotate out. Maybe you use that thigh to gently push against and rotate out and reach that hand up. Excellent. Okay, sit up as tall as you can and breathe. So from here, we're going to extend one leg out, one leg comes in. I'm going to reach down to that foot. So we have a couple of different options here. My foot can be on the floor. I'm just going to reach down to those toes. If I'm a little bit more flexible and mobile, my foot could be up against my thigh, even on my thigh. Okay, that's up to you, and reach for those toes. I want to feel that hip open up if you have that flexibility and mobility. If you don't, it's okay. Again, the foot can be on the floor. Okay, let's try the other side now. Again, foot can be on the floor, reaching out. Or if you have that flexibility and mobility, get that foot up. It's up to you. And if you don't feel as mobile or flexible on one side as you did on the other, that's okay. I'm more flexible on the other side too. It's up to you and how you feel. Some days you may feel stronger and better on one side than the other. Other days it might be to the other side. Okay? So from there, we're going to reach over, tuck the shoulder down, and just gentle stretch across. Reach over, tuck the shoulder down, gentle stretch across. Reach either up on top of the head If you have the mobility, reach behind the head. Let's do the other side, either up on top or behind, it's up to you. We'll get behind, we're gonna reach our hands to the back of the chair. If you can sit up tall, sit up tall. If you can extend your chest out, extend your chest out. If you can look up and maybe arch your back, that's up to you. Breathe nice and deep. We're gonna do a little bit more rotation. We're gonna get one hand, bring it up over top to that opposite knee. Maybe gentle twist, maybe a little bit more intense, maybe look over that shoulder. Shoulders are back and down, I'm breathing, my chest is out, my back is tall, maybe I arch a little bit, that's up to you. Facing front, big hand reaches over, touches that knee, slight rotation or more, it's up to you. Look over that shoulder, breathe as you rotate. We're going to extend our feet forward, reach up over our head, maybe look up at those hands and fold to our toes. Nice, easy forward fold. You can hang your head if you'd like. Walk your hands up to your thighs. Gently push off those thighs. As we come up, we relax, take a nice deep breath. Be careful because sometimes when we hang down like that, we get a little bit of a head rush. So just easily take a few deep breaths and get rid of that feeling. Knees come up. We're going to gently breathe again, okay? Finish up our class for today. Push our feet gently into the floor. Feel that energy rise up from the floor into your legs. Breathe, relax the shoulders. If you'd like to close your eyes and meditate, you can. If it's breathing, that's fine as well. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And out. Thank you very much. And this concludes our yoga practice for our Forever Fit class today. And we'll see you next time.